Welcome back, everyone, to Owl Stretching Time. Last time on the Owl House, there was shipping. Lots and lots of shipping.
And manipulation. So much manipulation.
We got to meet Amity's parents, who kind of suck. Although I kind of like her dad and the fact that he's so zoned out and, like, so ADD that he chases butterflies. Seriously, those butterfly memes have been gold, people. Keep them coming.
Is this a meme?
We also got to see Ida and Lilith learning how to do the glyph magic the way that Luce has been doing them, and figuring out ways and how to combine them and make them into more powerful spells. So we got a lot of groundwork covered so far, and we're going to probably see even more with today's episode.
Echoes of the past. That was the past.
I'm wondering if this episode's going to be like time for backstory or something like that. You know, maybe we find more out about Ida's past or something, or maybe another character's past. Just to be clear, we didn't read any of the synopsis of, like, the episode titles. Like, we know they dropped, we know there's been descriptions of said episodes, but like we said before, we wanted to kind of go into these blind just to be surprised, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're completely wrong about what this episode's about. But either way, you know, I look forward to it. I think there's a lot of possibilities, you know, into looking into, you know, what happened in the past exactly. Because we know the whole thing with the Emperor and him taking over, you know, the Boiling Isles is, like, been a big point of mystery so far. Him claiming that, you know, he, you know, tamed the wild savages and brought order to magic. Like, we know there's more going on with that. Like, come on. But I guess we'll wait and find out, so let's get started, shall we? Play. Is that the acid rain?
I wonder if this is right after she got cursed.
She does look young. Well, must have a perfectly good cloak. I think they confused Lou's face there.
I think Francois is trying to start a rebellion.
Again?
I'm so close to
Damn you, Francois!
It's always glyphs and portals with you these days. Why don't you ask Lilith for help? She was in the Emperor's Coven. She has more experience with our... Watching the ink dry is the best part.
It's crazy, guys.
For my favorite cup of tea. That's you, Lulu.
Aw.
Hootsifer, you truly are a gem. How do you always know what to do? What's going on? Is Hooty blackmailing her? They're actually friends. Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
It'll work for sure.
Love their friendship.
Now you see me.
Whoa!
Now you don't.
Invisibility glyph!
I guess it'll only last
Nice.
as long as I hold my breath. Still pretty cool, huh? Don't ever do that again. However did you accomplish
Such a dog.
Yeah.
As the lead historical scholar of the Emperor's Coven, my aid could be very helpful in... An ambush! Men, defend your room! What? I'm done for, Lulu! This is make-believe.
I've been slain.
in your arms! Avenge me!
Avenge me!
The King of Demons yields to no one! Historically, demons have never been united under a single rule. There's no such thing as a King of Demons. Blasphemy! Clearly you know nothing of my reign of terror. Allow me to tell you.
Please do tell
once
us.
the mighty King of Demons. I was beloved almost as much as I was feared. How convenient. A hole in your memory for each hole in your story. Nice one, Lulu! Up top! Okay. I remember plenty. One day, I'll return to my rightful place, and all shall fear me! Why, you're gonna be such a good tyrant. Who's the scariest demon king? Who is it? Me! It's me! Your dedication to this farce would be charming if it weren't so sad. Don't blame me for your ignorance. I'm not a liar, and I can prove it. He called me ignorant! Me!
Stop it, you guys. The story is really important to him.
Hooty, would you like to accompany us?
How?
Oh, get ready!
What the... Oh my...
Oh!
Whoa!
Reporting for Hooty!
Oh my god! That was really disturbing.
Oh boy.
Did he just, like, wrench his own head off of, like, his body? What the fuck?
room to put my feet up. Off to my real castle. Don't wait up, love, your favorite demon overlord. Oh no, not again.
It's a flying bathtub. remind me of something.
The time tub, baby.
Flying? It's been hours! This island shouldn't be here. It's not on any of the maps. It's always been there when I look for it. After I shrunk, I woke up here in Ida's arms and she carried me away. Like a little baby.
Aww.
Aw.
Fine. Aw. Look!
So I'm thinking there's a 50-50 chance that he actually is telling the truth as opposed to being delusional. From how Ida reacted, it seemed like he's been through this before with trying to, you know, prove his illusion is real.
I guess that's what that thing at the beginning was, the past version of Ida.
God, Hooty ripped himself off of the house. Ew! And now he's in his little,
Travel case.
his little
Travel home.
little birdhouse.
It would be so cute if it weren't so horrific.
At least he didn't show that part. I'm like, oh god. That would have been much. That's a bit much.
That tower is certainly intriguing, but thank you, Hootzifer.
Ouch.
Couldn't we have landed a little closer? Now I can dramatically do this.
A keyhole. What is this, Kingdom Hearts?
Door fit for a tyrant.
Well, this is
That's
Disney.
me.
True.
I'll find you guys another way in. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle.
Wiggle, wiggle,
What a
wiggle,
strange
wiggle.
material. I've never seen anything quite like this. Ha! I've seen better graffiti! I've got better graffiti on me! Loose, look!
She said that
In
as
any
simple.
language I know, these ruins are a history mystery. Eh? What's a mystery?
The only mystery is how Lilith can be so smart and so wrong at the same time. Academics, am I right?
You so are. Come on in.
I'm getting a bad vibe. What about you? Someone stuck hot dogs on top of the
The
rocks.
chamber where I would devour the hearts of my foes. But I bet yours would be sweet, Luce.
With all the sugar I eat, it better be.
These carvings, they're
No.
ancient. What does that mean? If I've never heard about this ruin, let alone this entire island, who knows what other parts of history we scholars have missed? Are you saying that he may actually have been the king of demons?
I mean,
my kingdom.
This is all so cool, but Ida's probably on her third cup of apple blood by now, and the last time it was real hard getting her off the roof.
It's me, faithful old Hooty. You know, I was just messing around with you the whole time, right?
Your Majesty?
It's clear that these ruins are of immense historical
Great,
value.
now they're gonna suck up to him.
Perhaps you could tell me more about them. I'll show you where my throne used to be. It was made from the teeth of my enemies, and boy, was it awkward to sit in.
sort of like the Iron
What
Throne.
are these things? Just kidding. I'd never leave someone hanging. Up top, buddy.
Zombies!
What does this image represent, my lord? It's hard
that
to
the
remember.
tiger?
But that handsome devil looks familiar, huh?
This environment is not conducive to learning. It's conducive to death.
You saw the horrifying monstrosity room. Don't worry, they can't hurt you.
Oh, God.
That one can. Let's go.
Is that like its flesh?
Dang, girl, you've been practicing.
You may admire my progress, but we get out of here alive.
We can't let her fight it alone. We have to go back.
At least give her back her staff.
What of that horrible creature?
Aha!
Can't get past the entrance. We're safe now.
That thing must be guarding this place against intruders.
But it's my castle. How could we be intruders? You don't believe this is my castle? Liz,
mean-
you think I would lie to you?
King,
You aren't lying. You just don't know the truth. It's time for me to tell you how we really met. 8 years ago, I was looking for a place to hide from the Emperor's coven. Who's there? Reveal yourself!
disappeared.
Did you make all these? What are you?
Aw.
I assumed you were just some stray dog, but then that thing was gonna kill us both, so I picked you up and bounced.
Ah.
That's what happened with Warren.
Against my better judgment, I took you home with me. I'd gotten you the collar because, well, that's what you do when you get a new pet.
Blech.
But then, you know what else kings do? They command armies and eat delicious feasts. And
Aw.
that's how you got the idea that you were some despotic overlord. You're lying. I'm not.
Huh. She kept it.
My army? My feasts? My life? No! Keep that thing away from me! It's messing with my head!
King, it's gonna be okay.
You're all just making fun of me like usual, right? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No.
I mean, I get playing along if it's like harmless or something. I don't know. It's a hard.
That was taking it too far.
I guess maybe she just didn't expect him to take it so seriously. I mean, it ultimately was harmless until he tried to return to the island.
This
He
is a
became so
helmet.
cute.
Wow.
He's
And
so
this is
tiny.
a
I just want to put him in my pocket.
Ooh, what's
It was weird. It was just him by himself on the island. He has like that tendency to stack things. I wonder if it's part of his species or whatever, or something more.
TV listings
Or
for time
maybe he's
channel.
descended
Now,
from that
let's get
giant
back to the
creature.
show.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is this what regret feels like? I hate it.
I lied to him, even though I knew he trusted me.
I'm nobody.
You are somebody, and I love that somebody very much. I'm sorry I lied about what I believed.
Everyone lied. And I was too caught up in the fantasy to realize it. I don't know what to do, Luce. I can't tell what's real and what's fake.
Whatever we find up there won't change that. So what do you say?
Really gonna go back with that
Okay.
monster though?
I'm so sorry, King. Boop. No more secrets, okay? You have to promise me. Only truths, I promise.
Great. Now, before we leave, we have one more thing to check out.
Special delivery!
Hooty cannon.
You sure they'll be alright?
That's usually the elite belly potion.
You sure they'll be alright?
How is he not choking on those?
It's Hooty.
True.
Ready?
I'm convinced he's immortal.
Something like this.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Knock it down.
There's nothing here. It's coming!
There's a door.
Aha.
I think we're safe for now. But how did we get the door open? This room is old. Very old.
Those eggshells?
I knew there was something up here. Like the mystery whisperer. The butler did it. Magnifying glass. Secret door.
It looks like that creature was made to guard whatever was in here. Ida, I'm ready. Are you sure? I am. I remember a deep roar. And then something happened. But I was too small to do anything. So I went back to sleep.
Oh, he's so tiny.
That roar, it meant son. I don't know how I know that, but I do. Someone called me their son, Luce. I think it was my dad.
Maybe that was him in all those wall carvings.
Stop!
Aha.
That thing was defending King from us this whole time? Oh, sorry, were we discussing important revelations? Not just do this later.
Maybe you weren't exactly the king of demons, but
I was important to someone. If he's out there, I want to find him. I'm not that old. It could be possible. Would you help me?
I'd do anything for you, buddy.
Then, can we keep him?
No.
Yes!
God. How?
What you doing there, King?
Gooey. It's too bad Jean-Luc stopped moving outside the ruins. I liked having a big scary minion.
Yeah.
Is it okay to still call me king? Feels kind of weird when I'm not the king of anything.
Well, you'll always be king of my heart. That's good enough, right?
Yeah. Good night, Luce.
Mwah.
And Francois.
Ugh.
Now Jean-Luc.
Bummer. Looks like I'm all out of kisses. Maybe next time. Good night.
I've never seen markings like this. Any ideas, mystery whisperer?
I don't know, but whatever we discover, we'll be there for King. No matter what.
The plot thickens. I guess that's the statue of his father. I knew there was something about King. I freaking knew it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, you can't have a character that proclaims himself like King of Demons and not have some sort of follow-up story on it. I was kind of worried that, it did turn out to be like a delusion of his, given how highly he sees himself, even though he has no real powers to speak of. But I'm glad to see that there actually is more to it that even he didn't know about it. Actually, you know what this kind of reminds me of? And I'm probably digging far into, deep into this. You probably didn't see the movies, or if you did, you probably just saw a review of it. The Swan Princess.
Only saw the review of it.
There's a character in it, and he believes himself to be a prince, like a frog prince, and he keeps that delusion pretty much throughout all the Swan Princess movies, or at least most of them, and is so convinced he's a prince. Like, even when he gets Odette to kiss him, to change him back, he's still a frog, and he still believes himself to be royalty. I was kind of worried that this was the direction they were going to go through with King, because that's how it kind of seemed, that, he was so bought into the whole myth that the others just didn't have the heart to, try to, counter him on that. And I can't say I blame them too much, because if they did go against it and are like, oh, you're not really a king, you're just some, little dark puppy dog or whatever, it's like, he would have just pushed back against it even harder. I did, feel bad for him when he he essentially thought they were lying to him, but it's like, dude, you fed into the lie yourself. You wouldn't have believed them even if they told you.
And it wasn't like prior to that they really did anything, even, try to, prove whether he was right or wrong. So it's nice that they finally actually go and, see what this is all about. And it's definitely, yeah, there is something to King's story all the while, just from the get-go, knowing that this island exists despite the fact that the other inhabitants of the Owl House could ever find it.
I guess it appears to whoever's from the island, hence why, King was able to find it. But then again, Ida
was there and found King there, so...
Maybe it appears to whoever needs to find it, or needs to, find a place or something. Because again, it is weird, because we've seen that the Boiling Isles has, a navy. They do chart things. It's just weird that none of them ever came across that one speck of land. Unless it's like Brigadoon, it only appears once every, couple of years or something like that.
One of the fog lifts every now and then sort of deals.
So I guess the question now is, what happened to King's father? I assume that's who the real King of Demons is, which, when you think about it, technically makes King a prince. They should be calling him a prince if anything else. Whatever, I like King's name. I think it's appropriate, considering how he acts.
Yep.
And in addition to that, what happened to him? Is he still alive? Is he dead? What was he fighting against? Because as we saw in the mural, he was fighting against a Titan. I'm wondering if he actually fought against the Titan, which became the Boiling Isles, if that's how that whole society came about.
Or, Emperor Bellos.
I believe that too. I imagine Bellos, with something like that, like a king of demons who would be a significant threat to him. He probably killed him, by himself, but never told anyone on the off chance that, they'd find out the secrets like whatever it is that the demon, holds. Because we know that there's definitely something to them, the whole way they were able to like magically seal the fortress and everything. Like there's definitely something to that. And then of course all those symbols, which I assume is like what gave the tower its protection spell or something. But if it was that powerful, then how the heck did, he end up disappearing or was killed, if that's the case?
And now if King actually has a legit minion...
Although it doesn't work.
Who knows? Maybe only in the castle it works, but...
I mean, maybe if he... Because we saw that he was recreating the symbols and stuff. Maybe if he figures it out, he can actually make it come to life inside the Owl House. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Not that it would really need it. I mean, we have Hooty, who, the one-man wrecking machine. He can pretty much guard the house by himself. But I guess the extra help wouldn't hurt.
Definitely against... Belos's army.
I'm just wondering what the hell that thing is made out of. Because it looked like a sort of bug creature, but it looked like it had like...
A boomerang or...
Like, I know it was a boomerang head, but it was like, it had like, I guess, flesh hanging off of it, or some sort of goop that it can control, to make those weapons. Like, I'm wondering what the hell that stuff was. It was like really disconcerting. Speaking of disconcerting, Hooty ripping himself out of the door to go inside the little birdhouse. I'm like... How do you work?
Not only that, but they show a bit of dismemberment from inside the door.
Organs,
yeah.
Pulsing. I'm like, ew. Like, I know the Owl House, is technically alive. Luce even points out that, the walls are breathing and stuff, but I didn't think Hooty could actually freaking wrench a part of his body out to go in something else and still live. Like I said, that he's got to be freaking immortal or something.
I mean, we've got part of King's backstory now. We're well overdue for Hooties.
I'm sure we'll get to that point. You mentioned that a bunch of episode names dropped, right?
Yeah, one of them being Knock Knock Knocking on Hooty's door.
I think that's where we're going to find out the truth about Hooty, and it's probably going to be even worse than what we're thinking of. But it is nice to see that he can be travel-sized when the need comes for it, because I know, throughout the whole first season, he wanted to, accompany them on missions, and I kept thinking to myself, how the hell would that work? And, well...
He's got to stretch himself really far, because we see that he does. He does, go great distances.
But obviously he can't do it, over water or, probably anywhere that's too far. But it's nice to see that he can travel with the group. It's just really gross, hearing him having to do that. And how the hell is he supposed to reattach himself? Does he just reconnect with his body, once he's put back in place? And does he feel any pain from that? I'm guessing not. I mean, I know he can be hurt and everything, but you think he would feel a substantial amount of pain just ripping a part of himself off. And even then, his neck still was able to grow. What the hell are you, Hooty? If there was any sort of king of demons, he's the one I would put my money on. Baby King was so cute. It's no wonder Ida brought him home and kept him as a pet. Weird though that his horn was the source of his memories. Because you wouldn't expect that to be part of a character's brain or something.
Who knows? I mean, I guess it's he kind of feels complete now that he has it. So I guess that might be physical thing, but it might be just something to his mentality.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Keep in mind too, we are in a magical land where physics works very differently.
Right. I do find it interesting, the new glyphs that they're able to come up with, just from combining the 4 existing ones. The fact that she's able to make an invisibility glyph, I'm how did that come about? What do you combine to make that? I mean, I'm glad that they have that, though. It definitely adds to their arsenal. It just sucks that it only works as long as you're holding your breath. I'm again, how does that work? I guess maybe it's a part of the light spell, because, from Fantastic Four, they explain that Invisible Girl's power is not so much becoming invisible, but bending the light around her to create, an optical illusion. So, I'm guessing that's where it came from. Anything else you want to add? I
mean, just the relationships in this episode, too. Just, seeing Lilith and Hooty's bond, seeing Luce and King's bond, and even seeing, way back, Ida and King. It's just it's so great. Just the writing and everything with these relationships is just so very... I love it. I absolutely love it.
Because I've been wondering, you know, about how is it that King and Ida came to partner up if he's like the supposed king of demons or whatever? What is it that, you know, she holds for him if he's like so powerful and stuff? But she's basically the only thing he has to like a mom. She even acts like a mom too, in that, you know, she sees him, you know, playing and pretending to be this like big powerful king, and she's like, oh yeah, you're my strong little man. It's just adorable to see. I love it. And again, more funness between Lulu and Lucifer. They're so adorable together, and it's so weird. You'd never think they'd work as friends, and yet it's perfect. I love it. They even fight well together too.
Yep.
Trying to take on that thing.
Using Hooty as a projectile weapon.
God.
Damn.
Again, how do you not feel pain, Hooty? He stuffed like what, a dozen of those potion bottles. And he's like, I'm like, ow! I can feel that in my throat. No, I literally can. Why did I do that?
Man, stop projectile vomiting. Ah!
So yeah, I guess that'll be like our background plot going on. You know, seeing if we can run into any more demons who might know where who King's father is, where he might be, if he's even alive, or if maybe the Emperor's gonna reveal something.
Maybe the Bat Queen knows something.
I was thinking that too. It was like in the back of my mind. She said herself that she's ancient, but King also said that he's actually not that old. I mean, what was it? Edith said that she found King, 8 years
ago?
Yeah, so he was like, I don't think he was around in the temple for that long. He was still a baby when she found him, so I'd imagine maybe 10 at most. He could easily be Luce's age when you think about it.
Or he's sort of like Grogu and ages very slowly.
True. So whatever happened to the king, I'm assuming must have been, you know, more recent than we think. As he said, there's still a good chance he might be out there. So it's something to keep in the back of our minds in the meantime. So what's the next episode?
Next episode, Keeping Up Appearances.
Yak. I'm guessing, based on the title, maybe Ida has to put on an act or something. It probably depends, because I know a lot of the regular people she associates with know that she's already depowered. Probably know the same about Lilith as well, but maybe somebody doesn't know, so they have to pretend that they're still all-powerful witches or something.
I mean, we know that Mama Clawthorn's supposed to show up at some point.
Maybe this will be the one she actually does show up, and I'm guessing maybe she doesn't know about, you know, Ada and the whole thing with the Emperor or with Lilith, so maybe they gotta keep up, you know, the act or something. Although, I don't see why exactly. I mean, if anything, you know, it'd probably be more for their benefit to go to a more experienced witch, maybe to figure something out.
We'll see. I mean, that might not even be the episode. I'm just saying. Seems like the only logical to me at this time.
I do wonder something though, like, if there is like a possible way to cure the half curse they have on each other. Because I imagine, like, once they become proficient in glyphs, they'd probably stick with that. But again, I'm wondering if, you know, there is a possible way for them to fully undo the curse. I mean, the Emperor said that he could, but we don't know if he actually can. Like I said, that's a theory for another time.
Yep.
One last thing I did want to mention, though, because again, based on the whole thing we were discussing last episode and what we saw in this episode, the whole keyhole entrance. Like, suddenly I'm thinking, wait a sec, the whole Disney crossover universe and stuff, they can make a Kingdom Hearts game, but with the Disney Channel shows. Holy shit, I just figured out the sequel. No, please, Square Enix, whoever's in charge of those games.
You don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Don't do it. Don't get me wrong, it would be cool, but I waited long enough for Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm not waiting another 6 decades for this fucking thing to come out. I am done, goddammit. But anywho, we won't have long to wait for the next episode, so until next week, everyone, I'm Kat McBerry.
I'm Doug McBerry.
We're watching you, Hooty. Always watching.
Don't you even get any ideas about coming out of the wall and doing horrific things that we don't want to see? You know, maybe we should take this Infinity Gauntlet and move it. It's a little too close to Hooty.
Hooty will rule us all with a Hooty fist.
Hoot hoot.